Mic check, 1 2 1 2. All right. All right. So I'm gonna share this out real quick. We are live in full effect here. Another day. You know how these streams have been going, guys. I got a special guest here, and we're gonna find out about him in a second. So let me go ahead and what the world? Twitter? Oh Lord, my Twitter is insane right now. I know they about to go crazy on this. Come on now, Twitter. I'm gonna share you up, man. Bufo, what is going on? Apex Origin, what's going on? Serious London, what's good? Brave Boy Beast, what's going on? All right, I know we live now. Huh. Oh Lord. Oh damn! Did Twitter get shut down or something? I might be suspended for all the smoke I've been putting out. Goodness. So, but anyways, man, we're gonna find out what is going on. For those who might catch this on the replay, you already know what the business is, man. Just leave a comment below. If you're in the chat, I really do appreciate it. It looks like my Twitter might be shut down.
It's glitchy from what I'm seeing. I'm seeing other people saying it's glitchy.
Oh yeah, it says something went wrong. It's not your fault. Damn, I saw some really spicy comments, and we gonna get to those. So I'm gonna roll that intro. You already know what it is. Let's go. What is going on, everybody? What is good? We got a good show today. Should music producers sign to other music producers? That is the question. He's shaking his head. Come on, hell no. What we have here is a brother of mine. We was at Slip and Slide together, and yeah, it was a pretty interesting journey. He goes by the name of Vakseen. For those who want to check his stats or whatnot, I will have links in the description that you can check out. And without a question, without a doubt, he could actually talk the talk and really be saying something. Multiple platinum plaques, all of that great stuff. What is going on, DJ MVP? So how you been, man? Just let them know who you are so that everybody knows the specifics behind what we're going to talk about.
I'm good, man. I appreciate you having me.
Thank you.
My name is Vakseen. Artist name is Vakseen.
That's a subscriber. My bad, dog. You know, it's different. Things are different these days.
Clearly. Yo, that was like X last night. You know, he started freestyling. They started cutting on him. He was like, you just gonna cut while I'm rapping? Like, yeah. So, my name is Vakseen, and man, I've throughout my journey, I've worn a few different hats, but I started as a producer and writer, and did that for years, and then that evolved into an opportunity to work at a label, and I started interning at Slip and Slide Records in like 2004, 2005, and within a month I was in A&R, and from there my business career just kind of took off very quickly. Became a product manager. I started, like this Slip and Slide in-house producer team, and from there, once I left the label, I moved to LA and been focused on myself and just developing my company and just develop. What I've spent most of my career doing is developing producers, developing talent, but mostly producers, just because that's where my passion lies as a producer. I'm a true producer, hands-on, and I've taken all of my guys from square one, where they have no placements, they've got no checks in the biz, to where I've gotten their first checks, their first plaques, their first hits, etc. So I've been blessed to just have a relatively successful career throughout this time. And in addition to being an executive and music producer, I'm a visual artist as well. I show in galleries, museums across the world. I'm an artist, just all around creative mind. I like to bring the the business aspect to the forefront and make them meet in the middle. And just, I try to help creators avoid from making these really, really horrible mistakes. And, there's a lot of that occurs every single day in this business. So that's just kind of like the quick rundown of who I am and, what I do.
Yeah, that man, I seen the glow up, man. I have seen the glow up. Men could glow up too. We all can glow up.
It's a major, major glow up, man. And I'm, that keeps me humbled at all times, just because I've seen. I literally started from the bottom as an intern, working for free, and I've been working for myself since I moved to LA 2011. And it's been nothing short of incredible. I mean, like a year or two after I moved here, I had the #1 record in the world with one of my guys. We had Pitbull's Timber, and that was just like a really life-changing record that when they say a hit record will change your life, I saw it firsthand. And it's, it'll change your life in a good way and in a bad way as well. I definitely have a story behind that. I definitely got screwed by industry politics within that, but it comes with the business, and that's why we're here, to help you avoid those kind of mistakes.
Right. I think it's important that a lot of people understand that. I'm trying to make sure that my levels is right on my microphone. Everybody can hear me, because I see some people saying they can't hear me on Twitch, and but yeah, I think it's important that a lot of music producers get the right advice. We was just talking about the last interview earlier, and how there are, or just from people reading Twitter, because a lot of people, what they don't understand is that there's a lot of people in this game that could easily step in and validate what I say, and dispute that actually have legitimate logistics and was in the industry when there was physical copies being sold. Like, there was actual people being sold. It wasn't dictated off of just flat out numbers that can be blown up. Like, but but the reality of it is what you were saying earlier, that a lot of the youth they're kind of different. They're a little different. Like, what have you observed from the youth now that's different from when we was looking up to our elders and not calling them like old all the time, like old head or something like that? Which old head I don't mind, but the old thing is like the joke.
Yeah. I think there's a disconnect between the generations. There's a huge disconnect. Like for us, we grew up with like,
what's
you
a
want
record
to
song? Love
it's kind of a no-brainer. Like, somebody who's experienced more than you, who's done more than you, why wouldn't you listen? You don't have to take it as the Bible, so to speak, but
right.
They have something to offer you value-wise. And OGs are just like, it's something that, these are people that you respect, because not just because they've been through it, but they're still around. You see them, there's still some sort of relevancy within the business. So there's just like a complete disconnect. And I sit back and watch a lot of it happening, and it's kind of crazy. It's a whole different world. And, I get it, times change and things change, and there's, I'm not sure where the exact disconnect occurs. But that a lot of that has happened. I think bigger than that for me is just originality. Like, originality is something that's always been championed from when I was just a little baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, growing up in like the 90s and even after that, it's like biting was a huge no. It's like, even sampling, it's like, I'm all for sampling. I love sampling, but there were just certain things you just wouldn't sample, because it's like, nah, that's way too obvious. That's way too blatant. Mm-hmm. It's kind of disrespectful to the craft. So a lot of things have changed, and I'm not, I've considered myself a purist in the past, And as I got into the business, that kind of went out the window. But I've always been a fan of the music at the core. And, so I get it as like, as long as it sounds amazing, that's really all that matters. But a lot of the times it doesn't sound amazing, and if there was respect for the culture, a lot of things that I see done now wouldn't be done. It's just a new game. And, again, it's no disrespect to anybody because times change. You know what I'm saying? Like everything changes and it's about how you can adapt. And that's, for me, that's what's kept me in the business this long. Like I started in the actual working in the business in 2004, 2005. But I mean, I've been pursuing music since like 99 or so. So I've been, I'm a part of that group where when I came in, it was like physical, like music was still selling physically. But there was that slow transition once I got into the biz. Once I was working at Slip and Slide, I remember pitching different ideas of like, gifting iPods with the whole, with like the artists on the label, doing really unique creative things with technology.
Yeah.
And they were just like, it was so ahead of the curve. It was just like, no. But now it's just, I've been a part of that world and I'm part of the digital world now where everything solely, for the most part, relies on digital sales here in the US. I have to stress that because I work a lot in K-pop as well, and physical sales are still huge there. But they present a lot more value within the package as well. And that's something that's different as well. Like if I get a K-pop booklet that I've, we've produced for EXOs, for example, if I give you that booklet, it's like a 30-page booklet and it's actually an experience. You know what I'm saying? So a lot more is being added value-wise. And I think that's missing here as well. Just because we're just like, let's get this quick money, let's get these streams. And, those are like just pennies on pennies on pennies. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's not even, was it 0.0014 for a stream on certain streaming platforms. And then you got a conglomerate of them. But you did mention something that I didn't even know, is that physical copies basically overseas are bigger. I know I buy a lot of vinyl still, and I've seen, the progressive growth of vinyl being sold, and it's still climbing to this very day because what I think a lot of this the newer generation, the ones that are quick to ask you, what did you get a placement for? And then the next question is, oh, well, what did you get on the Billboard then? And then if you have them, did it go 3 times platinum? Or, they always try to find a reason. But anyways, like.
And then platinum now is like, it's not even the same kind of accolade. Like they're lowering the bar the further we move along within the business.
Speak on it. What is the new ceiling for platinum now? Is it like what, 100K? I remember they saying 100K is gold or something at one time, or 100K units or whatever, 100 units.
I've heard so many different things, man. I honestly, I don't really even care about that, to be honest. Like, for me, like the quality of music that I'm working on is so much more important. And if it's successful, like it's successful. But it's just, there's a lot going on in music now.
Yeah. I think I think it's kind of important to find your lane. Like I definitely, when I remember seeing you transition into full blown artiste, like you said, F this, like I was like, man, is he just like hanging it up? But his artwork is great. But then I kept seeing you talking about, hey man, I just got a platinum plaque here in Korea. I just got a platinum plaque over here in Spain. I got a plaque. I'm like, okay, well, he's just increasing his revenue through different streams, and that's important. I think music producers have adjusted to that, at least. Most of the producers now, their idea of what the real purpose of them chasing the placement is for them to get the clout, so they can actually sell the loot pack, and that's cool. I mean, I think that's very important because you want to be able to stand out and say you did something or whatnot. And then they go from that placement, they want to go and get the splice pack. And that they want to go ahead and then go from there. And I don't know. they'll start doing the preset banks and stuff like that, which it's very familiar. It's a very, very, very familiar story, but I can respect that. You know, everybody. Go ahead, brother.
No, I was just gonna say. I mean, really, what it boils down to is that to make a living as a creator, you need multiple streams of revenue.
Right.
You know, and that's the biggest key, because unless you're one of these producers that are locked in, and you're locked in with these platinum selling artists, and they're all, you know, you're Metro Boomin, and that's all you get is these huge layups, then you gotta reach out and figure out where these bags are coming from. And it's like every play is just a step up to that next level, to where you can extend a little further and bring more people into your circle. So that's why it just makes perfect sense. Once you're hot, like, cool, I got these sounds. Let's get these sounds off. Let's extend my brand. And you know, that was key for me. Like you said, like art has always been in the picture for me. Well before music. I never really saw a future in it until I moved here to LA. And, you know, as I mentioned in my journey, I've always been a creator, but then when I got into the business just took off so much faster. And slowly over time, I had less time to actually sit in the studio and make beats all day and really fully hands-on develop artists. So I kind of lost my creative venue, you know, just to create, you know. So for me, I needed that outlet. And when I stopped working for Slip and Slide and working for somebody else, my time and time management changed tremendously. I wasn't on the clock for somebody else. So it was just like, okay, I need a creative outlet, and art is a visual medium. So I need you, like, art is a visual medium. It's new for me on a professional level. So I need all of my attention focused on this. I need all of your attention focused on this. Because what I've done in music, like, those bills, those checks are coming regardless. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you don't really see me talk about music that much. Because it's like, I mean, those bags are there. Like, my bank knows that what's happening. My attorney knows what's happening. You know what I'm saying? But I need to focus on this art, because this is new. This is like my voice, 100% my voice. And, you know, just keeping the focus on what I wanted on. You know, just like you as a producer, it's like, I want you to focus on this. You know, I'm helping X, Y, Z. So it's just, you know, to make it make sense, connect everything.
Yeah, I think it's very important that even regardless, like, you should always have something else going, and that's the thing that I want to get into. That's the paradigm I want to get into. That a lot of the producers that I've been encountering on Twitter are trying to pitch this whole entire, oh, well, you need hits and you need to be doing this, that, and the third, but yet they're not telling the youth what really is popping. And that means, like, all of this stuff matters. Like, all of the like YouTube matters, having your own website matters, and, you know, all these things can help you stack up to when you really do want to sign with a music producer, that you're actually bringing something to the table. Because otherwise, he's just signing you just to get you out the way. He's like, hey.
I mean, that's all they're ever signing you for.
Speak on it. Speak on it.
That's a whole, man. You don't even understand. I've gotten too many producers out of being signed to other producers. Those are just disgusting situations. And every single time, the guys that I had to get out of a deal, they were so much more talented than the person they were signed to. And it's just like, you know, like, on one hand, like, I'm not going to knock it because I understand it. You know what I'm saying? Like, once you get to a certain level in this business, you only have two hands, you only have one mind, and you only have so much reach. So it's smart to build a team and have them working underneath you. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely smart. So I can't knock that whatsoever. But I do think things have to be fair on the business end, and that's where a lot of people end up getting screwed, you know what I'm saying? Or not really knowing the situation that they're getting into. For me, I don't think it's ideal at all to sign with another creator, you know, because it's always going to be you're going to be viewed as some level of competition, whether you want to or not. It's just human nature. You know what I'm saying? It's the nature of the business. I said that
last time, and guess what that person said? We need to work together. It shouldn't be about competition. And I was like, man, this is some weak, backhanded bullshit, because the reason why you're mad at me is because I wanted to be a competitor. And the reason why you think that you're better than me is because you're competing against me. But the problem is I actually have a platform that I developed because of giving knowledge and actually showing that I care. It's not about somebody just sitting and listening to your beat and just making these goofy faces. That ain't showing you that you care. That's only showing you that you're entertaining. And if that's entertainment to you, I don't know, and somebody yelling and screaming is entertainment to you, well, that says a lot about a person's character. Like, I don't get it. I hate to see it. That's what my homie MG the Future says all the time. That you should check out his YouTube channel. I think he's doing a really good job for a lot of the younger brothers that represent us in hip hop. Because last interview, the realest shit that I heard, and I respect him for saying it, because that energy needed to be out there. This was the last person that I interviewed. He straight up said, "Fuck hip hop." Why would somebody say fuck? Why do you think somebody would say fuck hip hop but still want bags in hip hop? Like, what is your? I'm gonna let you let that marinate in your brain. Fuck hip hop, but you're making money in hip hop. Fuck hip hop culture.
That was like a genuine fuck hip hop.
He said fuck hip hop culture, and he's making money off of hip hop culture. Mind you that the biggest thing that he was trying to relay, the message that he was trying to relay, is that he had did something on 2 big records. Mind you, that it was a small increment of it was a micro. I don't even want to say a microcosm. I would say it was. Hell no. He added an arpeggio. Oh, what? This is fact.
He had 2% on the record.
He got 15%. That to me, exactly what he deserved is 2%. Yeah. So that's what I would have gave him if I worked on a record with his ass and work with just in general, just not even being disrespectful. If all somebody did was add an arpeggio and a gross beat effect to slow down the arpeggio, that's not worth 15%. That's not worth 10%. You say five tops?
5 max. 5 max. And I'm a dry, fair person. Like, one thing that you will get, anybody that mentions my name, like, they cannot share any shade about me, because I'm just straight up fair about the business. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody's getting fucked in this deal. Period.
Right.
Now, if somebody's getting fucked, this isn't the deal. You know what I'm saying? I have a problem. You know, so that's that's wild, man. 15%. But that's a part of the problem too. Like, so many people don't really know the value of publishing, and they don't know what they're really giving away until they, already give it away, or until
Well, they're worried about being attached to a big record. That's it. And the reality of that big record is that producer that gave him that opportunity, which he totally disrespected in multiple ways, well, before even getting that. Because I'm sorry, if we have a clash, I'm not going to twist up a record just so that the artist can actually work on. I'm going to change that whole entire record altogether. And that's another paradigm we're going to have to visit too, because I think a lot of producers don't understand why they don't get placements at a higher level with their production. But it needs to be said. It needs to be said so that we can actually understand the purpose of ownership and the purpose of not trying to ride another person's wave. That you need to contribute. Actually bring something to the table besides an arpeggio. You know what I'm saying? Or a loop. That's
the 2020 and forward motto, man. Bring something to the table.
Real. That's something real to the table.
I don't want any handouts. Like, bring value, because that's what keeps you in. That's what brings you back.
Yeah.
That's where people are like, oh, nah, I fuck with him. Nah, that's crazy what he did. Not just leaving us out. It's like, if you did something minor and it didn't even really enhance the record, why are we giving you anything? Why are you a part of this record? You know,
and that was the whole entire issue with that situation that I personified in a follow-up video after being pressed by him, quote unquote. I'm just using his word, his terminology. I was like, dude, like you're for real acting as if you came up with all of the melodies, the drum line, laid it out. This is all the things that on said multi-platinum producer that was already a multi-platinum producer before that smash record, and why he doesn't constantly bring it up, because he has multiple other accolades that have followed, and there's no need because he's still working. But not only that, that producer has a relationship with an artist. It isn't an email and then pray. Now, my placement at Silver Slide, yes, it was an email and pray, but you made that possible. You made that possible. You were the one that was in the studio. You was in the studio, and what even younger me didn't understand, I was like, I'm sitting all these goddamn beats and stuff and acting like a fucking child. I wasn't understanding the true meaning of value at that time, because regardless of how hot you are, producers, or you think you are while you're doing your Lex Luger snap claps and spins 808s and rack kicks, that's not good enough. Have a relationship with an artist. And that's the biggest difference between me and Vakseen. Vakseen has had still having a huge career, and it's because of what he brings to the table. He's not screaming at the top of his lungs. he's not talking about some stuff that people don't care about, but he's not trying to take advantage of someone being thirsty. Because the other nasty thing about producers signing producers now is that it's not even nasty. It's just everything is business. Ain't shit personal, to be honest. That's the way I feel, to be honest. So if you get fucked, you get fucked. It's your fault. Just go keep it 1,000.
Yeah, because you can see that thirst you can see that thirst from miles away.
Yeah, I stay in Portugal, and there's no artists out here that I want to work with Pop Smoke. Why can't you work with the people in Portugal and have your own movement out there in Portugal? That's what DJ Snake did.
That's what I've always told. I still tell people to this very day. Get your city hot. Get your area hot. Like, you can't be so caught up in the U.S. market, because the U.S. market is, it's like people have that on lock.
And
those people have it on lock. They're in the same cities. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're locked in with those artists and they're like this.
And that's how the South had it on lock for a long time. Because every one of us in the South, from Florida, Georgia, and it's good to see the baby doing this thing now for the Carolinas. Right. It's because he wanted to be a representative of his community out there in the space of hip-hop culture. He didn't want to tag along and be like everybody else. Same thing with Alabama, Texas. We can Memphis. Tennessee, Kentucky. We're just talking about the southeastern region. We're not talking about New York. We haven't even got to the East Coast, or the West Coast, or the Midwest. Thank you for the sub, but yeah.
But the problem is it's the nature of the business we're dealing with. It's the entertainment business. It's the smoke and mirrors business. So it's like people don't really like any artist you can name. People never see that story of all that groundwork that they put in their own city, getting their city on fire before a major label even gave them a glance. You know what I'm saying? Like, people never really see that. They never hear about that, and the business paints it like, here this person came out of thin air, and oh my God, they're so hot. And it's like, this dude's been around for 10 years in my city. I've known about him forever. So that's what gets the game all fucked up, because you see somebody, you're watching this and you're like, oh, shit, I need to go ahead and hit that person up instead of working and building and putting that work in. And that's the biggest thing missing. I think that's the biggest disconnect that's missing. In the generations, just understanding the business, taking the time to understand the business, and just
You can do an
putting those
LLC
10,000 hours
online
in.
now. You can do a freaking LLC online. I remember when you had to go and file. You had to leave your house and do a physical meeting to get your goddamn LLC. And these cats won't even do that shit. The simple shit. Won't even get their own website. They want to get it a free website, self-fly or some shit, do all kinds of illegal shit, and then wonder why their plan doesn't work in a 5-year span when your business blows up. I don't get it. Hate to see it. I was just saying like my boy. Come on, hell no. That's why people disappear, man. It's important. Like, and then there's people that, you know, you never know about per se, and you might not ever hear about them, and they are making millions in this industry. Millions.
Because they got it figured out. It's not all about the music industry. You know what I'm saying? Like once you stop chasing that industry shit and just worry about your bags, worry about your business, and making sure that you're connecting with, you know, like-minded individuals, people that are doing good business, people that are busting their ass, hustling, working hard. Like, you know, it's like this is just a huge difference. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's crazy. Oh, now Twitter working because we was talking about Nate Dogg. You know, that was trending heavily yesterday, and we was talking about people that you know, said who would be this generation's Nate Dogg, or who would be the generational change in Nate Dogg. Who would you say would be this generation's Nate Dogg if you had to pull it off the top of the dome right now, freestyle?
Man,
no disrespect to Nate.
That's hard to say because, you know, like as we said, the business has changed. Has like R&B is pretty much phased out now, and like everybody's singing now, so it's just a whole different ballpark. It's hard. It'd be hard to pigeonhole just one artist because so many artists sing and do that effectively. It's like you could put somebody like a Drake in that category. You know what I'm saying? You can put somebody like a Future in that category where they're always singing on a hook, and you put somebody like a Jeremiah in or, you know, Anderson .Paak. I mean, there's so many different artists that could touch on that lane. I don't know. Nate was something special just on his own, man. He was definitely a unique artist that brought so much flavor to every single record.
A lot of people are saying Ty Dolla $ign. I saw that a lot yesterday.
I could see that. I fuck with Ty heavy. I haven't seen him on as many records lately.
Mm-hmm.
But I could definitely see that. I'm not mad at that at all.
I would say the one that popped up when I had laid my head in the bed, you know, because I'm an old head. I go to bed at before 9 o'clock. But
you're really old. You're a great grandpa.
You know, that's the way they try to make it seem like. But seriously, it was a really good one. And I thought to myself, I was like, goddamn, T-Pain.
I see so much T-Pain disrespect though, man.
Oh, jeez.
Oh my Lord. You know.
Like
we've worked with Pain. We did one of his last singles last year. You know, like T-Pain is just such a major OG. Like, how could you ever say anything like he's a good dude at that? You know what I'm saying? Like the disrespect that I see. Like I think I was reading how Travis was, you know, like his encounters with Travis Scott, and this business is funny, man. It's very funny.
Yeah, they just want to move people out the way without. Like, I think it was, again, when it comes down to old boy saying on my last podcast, fuck hip hop culture. This was unprovoked too, by the way. I didn't provoke this at all. Matter of fact, I was just explaining to him, like, after the fact, like, bro, you saying fuck hip hop culture, but you're producing for a dead black artist. You're a white guy producing for a dead black rap artist, and you're bragging about it as if this dude he actually reached out to you when that wasn't possible, and you're definitely not his flavor or person, you know, give or take of what kind of person he would naturally be. And I'm going to consider that he probably would not have liked that dude. But saying fuck hip hop culture and still partaking in that, while that is 100% fucking our youth up, because they're not getting a white kid to sing about I'm doing drugs, I'm depressed, suicide. No, they're making sure that we're depressed. That's a multi-billion-dollar a year invested in by the criminal justice system, which a lot of people don't know about the music industry. The criminal justice system invests a lot of money. And when you see that and you see the dynamic of what music is to this very day and what we have to deal with as fathers, and and you don't respect your elders to enough listen to that and try to change that dynamic because you think it's cool to be lit and drink lean, then what kind of future do you think you really have? Especially when you got Johnny Bravo saying fuck hip hop culture, and he's producing for all these artists, and he's not trying to reach out to any of you guys on a scholar base, because what a lot of the youth don't understand, especially our so-called black youngsters, because black isn't culture, it's a color. But what they don't realize is we are only valued for entertainment. And we're much deeper than that culturally. But everything is lost in translation because of systemic racism. And for somebody like that to say, fuck hip-hop culture, and be bold about it, and still want money out of hip-hop culture.
That's the fucking problem.
A big problem. Humongous.
That's the problem. Like, as soon as you said that to me, it's crazy. And it's, I'm not surprised, because I think that's the biggest disconnect. Like, the young generation doesn't know what hip hop actually is. They think it's just music. They think it's just rap music. And I had this conversation when, everything blew up after George Floyd. Like, so many different visual artists hit me up trying to see what they could do. And one in specific, he was like, I paint nothing but hip hop portraits, and I wanted to know what I could do. He was just coming to me genuinely for insight of how he can contribute. And I actually ended up, he didn't even know that hip hop was an actual culture. He thought it was just music. And I was just like, nah, bro, like, there's multiple elements to this. Like, hip hop is so much bigger than music. And for me, hip hop is my foundation. Like, that is, like, hip hop raised me. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. Before my parents did.
And eclectic amount of music too. It wasn't just one snare, hi-hat, clap, I trap, I drink lean. I'm fucking your bitch. No. Yeah,
it was just, but a lot of that is tied in with the business. A lot of that is tied into these execs that are trying to, they're trying to wipe us out. They heavily control that narrative of what music is being released. And it's crazy for me on the executive side, seeing so many records and artists that get passed on. It's kind of rare that your artists like a Kendrick or, a Cole get through the cracks. It's more abundant now, but for the longest, it was like, unless you were on some ratchet shit, you were not getting a deal. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just wasn't happening. And that's heavily curated from the top. You better believe it. You better believe it. Unless you're super ignorant with, just bells, whistles, a top hat and all that shit on, like, we don't want to hear from you. You know what I'm saying? Like, those days of that heavy content, that Public Enemy. And it's not even to say everything has to sound like this. There just has to be a diverse menu. You know what I'm saying? I need options for what I'm going to digest. And you don't have a lot of options now. It's like, nah, we're force feeding you this McDonald's meal. Your ass better eat it. Take this hamburger, take these fries. I don't care if you don't eat beef. This is what you're eating. And that's been the music business for a long time. And it's just, you got cats saying fuck hip hop culture, but actually stealing from the culture, actually, I want to say contributing to it, but you can't be contributing to it.
Well, thanks for the sub, whoever that was.
Man, I'm still trying to wrap my brain about that. Fuck hip hop, but yeah, I'm gonna get these bags though.
Right.
Like,
what does that tell you? That told me a whole lot. I mean, there's a whole bunch of other things in that interview that I was just like, I was just like, man, he's making this easy on me, because you're not telling the truth whatsoever. a lot of and then a lot of the I don't want to say OGs. I want to say a lot of the elders, especially in our bracket that we would consider elders. They reached out. Like they reached out in droves, and it wasn't nothing nice. It wasn't nothing nice. Like I'm sitting here like fanning fires because I'm like, man, look, the best way is to not focus on that. That message needs to be out there so that we can get together and feel and organize and understand that this next generation needs to be treated with TLC for sure. It's important that we be in our children's lives so that we can imprint something on them so they can actually understand that fucking on your bitch isn't realistic. That drinking lean, you can't be. I'm sorry, man.
No, but that's a perfect example because that's like every rapper's fucking catch. Like, yeah, I fucked your bitch. Like, I love women. I've never really aspired to take the next dude's girl like that. That does nothing for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many single women out here, just like it's just crazy. So the things that are celebrated in music now is just very one-sided. Right. and this is the music that's raising this generation. You know? Yeah,
and and that's why I was sitting there. That's what most of the arguments on Twitter was. I was like, bruh, so because I had posted a beat. And then I had, after people were talking about how ass it was, I wasn't really tripping about that. I come from battling beats against people. My pockets get really fat from battling beats. I've sold thousands of beats online. Thousands. If I really wanted to continue and wanted to do that, which the problem with selling beats online and why everybody wants to get their pockets fat from that, how much is that is going to be good palatable music for the masses? And that don't have necessarily anything to do with race, but that's just fact. Like, I'm not trying to be rich while something I enjoy been creating since I was a child just gets more and more watered down. And almost when you turn on the radio, it literally feels like you're hearing the same song over and over and over and over and over again, and nobody says nothing about it. But y'all acting as if y'all changed the game, and this is exactly what it was for me in 2009, in 2005, to be honest. What's different? We don't use horns anymore. Oh, okay, big difference. The drums still sound the same. The drum patterns, the hi-hats, no matter what you say, it's that part of music production hasn't done anything to be different in a long time, except for like what if I name you said the Metro Boomin, TM88, and Southside, and these guys have been massively cloned amongst the masses. There's no point in me even talking about how to make a beat like X amount of X person when it's the same formula. Mm-hmm. Open up a template and put a different melody on it. Go to Splice, open up a template, go to Splice, hope that somebody makes a melody that you can stick in there and that you can get away with. That's not creative, bro.
At all. It's so easy to be a producer now. It's just
stupid easy.
Yeah, I like the templates and all. Like, I'm just like, what? Like, I remember, I still have an MPC, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to sit down and come up, and you enjoy, like, that's just part of the process that you enjoy, being as original as possible, and instead of just focused on, like, yo, I need this bag, I need it. I don't know, man.
Yeah. Money is being highlighted too hard. Mm-hmm. Money is being highlighted so hard, and then these, from a technological standpoint, from me reviewing different amounts of technology for music production, there's no way in the hell that everybody should sound exactly the same. And I'm not meaning to be original. And even if it means you being original and you not being heard immediately, who's to say 10 years down the line you won't catch a snag with X amount of person? And that means you have to have patience and cultivate a fan base. The biggest problem with a lot of people and why they want to sign with other producers and other artists and other labels, because they don't have patience.
Yeah. That's you hit the nail on the head. And for me, that's been my personal, like, that's something I live and die by. Like, that's been my key to success. I was just telling a good friend the other day, like, I've always, historically throughout my career, I've always sold old music. If I sell a track today, every time I sell music, it's always at least 5-6 years old, every single time. And, you know, initially, as you're building your foundation, it's frustrating to have that patience because you know you're amazing. You're like, man, I'm creating this shit that's next level. Nobody sounds like this. And the problem is that this business is very cookie cutter. Mm-hmm. You know, like when you meet with execs, they're like, oh, I want something that sounds like this. I want something that sounds like that. Oh, but I don't want it to sound like that. Like, they can't really tell you what they're looking for. You know what I'm saying? The best bet I could ever tell you to do is, the best thing I could tell you to do is just originate. You know, have that patience and believe in yourself and understand when you're creating something unique. It's going to take time, but it's going to cement you within this business, because at the end of the day, nobody can go to anybody else but Timbaland to get Timbaland. You know what I'm saying? Right. Nobody else can go to, you know, whatever producers that you name, like, you know, Just Blaze or just whoever. Like, you have to go to this producer for something very specific. And I think
those are sample producers that you name back to back, but they sample totally different from each other. Got different ways of sampling, all that shit. And I remember having an argument with some of the youth, and they were saying, "Oh, well, all y'all do is sample and stuff like that." I was like, "Bruh, let me tell you something. There's levels to this shit. Some records you wouldn't even know they were samples until if it wasn't for whosampled.com."
Yeah, and that was the whole point. Like I said, like, creativity. Our generation, you have to be as creative as possible. And it was a no-no to sample and it just be obvious and blatant in your face, like, oh, I know what that is. You have to create something obscure.
And now it's cool to drag and drop a loop over.
Yeah, just a plain ass, blatant ass loop, like a Bee Gees record, like something that's super pop, that's something that was like Michael Jackson Thriller. You know what I'm saying? Like, where's the guesswork in that? Where's the creativity in that? Like, that record was a hit record. It's a no-brainer. And you know, shout out to Diddy for
take a popular song from Sting. You take a popular song from Sting and then get mad that Sting wants 80% of the record. That right. To me, wow.
Right. But I will say, like, I say that, but in the same breath, like, if a record's hot, it's hot. You know what I'm saying? So I can't I will never knock any kind of sample, but I really, like, there's so much more longevity that you can create within creating something as unique as possible. Those sample clearances, boy, those things are a beast. And I'm not against taking a hit. Like, you could, like, I'm all for having a hit record, and maybe you didn't get maybe you only had 10% of that record because of the sample, and that now gives you a larger platform. But now you got to switch it up on those next few records. You know what I'm saying?
That Mike now you got to go back and
get your publishing and get your just due. Like, you don't want to continue following down that same exact path where you have literally no stake in these records and you're just giving it all away for clout at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when Mike Karen had gave me some weird ass shit to sample. I was like, bro, there's no way in hell that I'm gonna be able to flip this shit. And Surf Style. Oh, I got you. Shout out to Surf Style. I know you be watching, dog. Sir was like, yo, I'm gonna turn this into a massive hit. Timber. Yo, that's crazy. That record right there has a lot of. I had to talk about it because I don't think a lot of people understand of how massive that record was when it hit, and it would probably hit. It still would be hitting if it wasn't so much helter skelter with some of the people involved. But still, I'll
be in this indoor playground with my son, and they play the kids bop version of Timber, and I'm just like, man. This record was just a huge, huge life-changing record. That's actually what allowed me to get fully focused on my art, that record.
Oh, yeah, I bet. What it go? It went like 10 times platinum within a few weeks or some shit?
Yeah, that's
I don't think people understand that.
A few weeks, but it was definitely out of here. I think it dropped like October, November, and then by January, it was like the #1 record, and and it was just, it happened very quickly. And to be honest, like when the record was created, when we had it, when it was just a hook concept,
mm-hmm.
it like certain records, you just know, like they're out of here. Like that one was out of here. That hook idea was just out of here. But like you said, there was a lot of industry politics involved, and it's like, even that, it ended up being a situation where other producers get involved and people bring more clout, and just industry politics, man.
But that type of collaboration makes sense. The people that's attached to that makes sense.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like we weren't gonna complain at all. They brought Dr. Luke. It was like,
okay,
it wasn't ideal. I can tell you that it wasn't ideal for the percentage that like where you have 50% of a record,
mm-hmm.
and what you hear, especially when what you hear is like that's CERN. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
So, when you understand, but it put him on base in a major way, that changed his life, definitely changed my life. And I'm sure it's still changing his life to this day. Huge, huge record.
Yeah, he's still, I was listening to his stuff that he has on IG, which funny enough, around the time when Timber popped is when social media, like the influencers, like they wanted to listen to songs and do like spoofs. That was around when Vine was popping, but the logistics. Imagine how many more times platinum that would have went if y'all was able to collect from Instagram like how you can now, and that would have been how TikTok is now. I think that probably would have set more records because it went 10 times platinum over here, but when it went overseas,
huge record, man. Like huge. Definitely thankful for that opportunity, man.
Yeah. Only if half of it would have came out during the God damn. Damn, man. I tell you, timing is everything, man. Timing is everything. Timing is everything. Even when you think you're winning, and still excited about that record to this very day. But goddamn, couldn't that been in like 2018 or some shit? 2016. Man.
But it might not have been as big of a record, because I think the difference now, there's so many, as the market opened up in a digital way, like you have this influx of records as well. So much music gets lost. It's hard for records to stick at number one like that record did. Like it was number one for weeks, and it was like neck and neck with Dark Horse at the time, if I recall correctly, and that was like a huge.
That was the other slap, and I think that was the one. I mean, Grammys is great, and that was it got Grammys. Like that was the thing about, but I think y'all got W's that a stretch beyond that from Timber.
Yeah,
like that's the biggest thing that a lot of people don't understand about. It's like talent, absolutely. You definitely have to have some talent. I would hope people would have talent. It doesn't always work that way, but as I was talking about, old boy, timing though.
Yeah, timing. Talent is. It's sad to say that, because I'm somebody that champions. I've always championed talent, and that's been, I think my gift and my curse. Like on one hand, I've always had an incredible team, and people come to me. Just the brand I've established, like they know I have next level music, but it's so rare that you see incredible talent that has the work ethic, you know what I'm saying? And that will supersede talent any day of the week. Like that's one thing I've definitely come to see in my years of the business. The hustle and your work ethic is going to absolutely shine harder than what you bring to the table. And that's why so many mediocre producers are winning right now.
Yeah.
Because they're hustling, they're making their time. Like they're getting in where they fit in. They're making their way, and they're developing these relationships. They're getting in the rooms with these artists, and that's definitely what matters
Yeah, copying pays off from copying other people's swag it pays off, but
and that's just the climate of right now.
Right.
It's just like I understand that. Like I don't agree, but it's the climate. And it's like
that's common sense thing. That's a common sense thing to do. It's like, oh well, you want that, cool, But what really hurts is this is where I have forgot remembered. Actually, thinking about that, I was thinking when you was talking about your team, I was talking about KP, which I talked to him not too long ago because I ran into a lot of people because I've been working with a lot of cats out of Orlando. Which, if it wasn't for COVID, boy, I tell you what, y'all people talk about they ain't heard of me. I bet you be hearing about me for sure. But I had met a lot of cats from because El Nice is out here in Atlanta. El Nice has been doing this thing over there at both Atlantic and at Empire. I happen to do photography for him, and then one of the artists by the name of Tomeboy. I actually influenced that deal that he got over there at Empire because I picked up a guitar. Like they was like, "Oh, you're a cameraman." It's like that doesn't mean I can't play guitar. I mean, look at the hat, my dude. Like, come on, man. I got a damn musician hat on. Like, what
is this? You play guitar? We're like, what? Man, just film. What?
But what I'm going into is something that needs to be said, and I think a lot of producers don't understand where they can hurt themselves and not know it by just posting music. Because I remember plenty of times you yelling at me about posting music in certain platforms, and I never got it until I was in the studio and the A&R was like, "Yo, I don't like that beat. I want a guitar player." That would have been me. That was me. And I want somebody that can make a mean ass drum line. And that was, oh boy, I can't. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to him because we shared the placement. But they pinned us together. They didn't like that track. I was like, bro, I'm not about to play what he did, that producer did, but I'm going to play what you want me to play. And he was like, man, play an interpolation of Sweet Home Alabama because I can talk to Leonard Skinner right now. I was like, dude, that's simple cowboy chords. And that's the thing. Like the manager had just talked about, he's like, bro, like sometimes producers, they be so thirsty to send beats and stuff like that to people. They don't realize that, man, some of the times I just take the advance. This is like a manager saying this shit. He's like, man, I take the money. I ask for about $50K and I give them $2K. I was like, wow. He's like, man, sometimes I just go to YouTube. I go to YouTube and fucking take beats and then
come on, hell no.
Mind you, that shit happened to me when I was signed to Slip and Slide, and old boy was going around to Texas. He was finding dope artists. Dero, which was an artist which everybody's forgot now. He had that peanut butter. What was it? Peanut ice cream. He clean on the inside, clean on the outside. He had that song. I can't remember the actual song itself, but he had that song. It was popping. He had one of my beats. Like 4 or 5 artists from Atlantic. They had beats of mine. My cousin had got lifted by a whole bunch of people out in Texas and out in California, and I was like, "Holy shit! How is this happening?" And that time when I sat in there, and then that just clicked to me. I'm like, dude, a lot of these producers get placements, and the A&R just be like, "No, this ain't it." So it helps to pay and develop a relationship with the artist, with the team altogether, instead of just trying to paint out beats. I mean, making money from selling beats is cool, but shit like that happens. Hate to see it, but I'm just saying it happens a lot.
A whole lot.
Like imagine you can walk into any label that you want, and all you have to do is just play songs. They like the artist, but they might not like the production. It happens, man. Like shit. Somebody's got to get even when you're within that deal with that other producer or whoever. Like shit, they might be like, man, I like that song. I don't like that beat. And then you're holding that major L, but you never hear about that song. I mean, luckily enough, I've actually experienced good and bad from that. But yeah, mostly good. Somebody donated. Thank you for the donation.
Hey.
I'm broke, nigga. I'm broke.
Here it come.
Avenue, teach me how to play the mouse, man. Mouse, face, thanks.
Come on. Hell no.
Let me explain that. So what you witness is what you've been witnessing on Twitter has been like a exact call and response to a lot of what we talk about, and he's making a joke about like the mouse. Like a lot of producers now don't even play keys whatsoever. All they do is clicking piano rolls, and then they want to get flown out to work for other producers to share one laptop and a keyboard. and from that statement, from that meme, so many producers got upset.
Come on. Hell no.
I mean, they say a hit dog will yelp. Or something like that.
Why would people care about that? Like, if you're making a hit, you're making a hit. Though they said that and cursed me out and shared. That's like the what they call it, the Streisand effect. Basically, what people don't understand is me owning your energy. Like, because I'm getting noticed because you have a problem, but yet you don't understand. It's just like, oh boy. Because I'm pretty sure people agree with what he said with fuck hip hop culture. Yeah, when you put that energy, negative energy just spits out more negative energy. And yeah, some people are hurt. Like I seen Cardo Got Wings. Negro, you have hit records with Drake. Why are you mad that I said that about a joke about keyboards and mouse and that I like an MPC?
Wow.
You got hits. You got hits in Fruity Loops. Who cares? Who cares? I saw who else I seen? I ain't seen none of the all the old head producers and stuff like that. Quote unquote old head producers didn't say shit. But I seen a lot. Cardo Got Wings. I seen the other kid, Pyrex Whipper. He got mad at Hi Hat God reference, and it had nothing to do with him. I seen some of these cats, man. I don't care if they do get platinum plaques or not. They're just not rememberable because they all sound the same. I'm just saying it now. But shit, you can't get upset about that. You can't. I shouldn't be able to own your energy. Mm-mm. If I'm a nobody that has no placements, that doesn't have any plaques, that has any Billboard chart toppers.
Right, I wouldn't. You're not getting an ounce of my energy.
Right, no retweet quotes, nothing. But that speaks about cultural relevance, right?
Yeah, people. I don't know. We're in petty times. Petty times.
a lot of stuff that people have to do here. I mean, a lot of extra time that people have to focus on Twitter and one old guy. That's what I got out of that, man.
That's what kills me. It's like, damn, I don't understand. Like, I definitely I log in randomly to check Twitter, but for the most part, I'm like, I don't have time to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need to be creating something at some point. If I'm wasting time on Twitter, I'm wasting my time. Period. You know what I'm saying? So I agree. Like you're, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is part of your business. It's part of your brand. So it's like, it makes sense if you're logged in and doing that. But you better believe if somebody is not impacting my checks or my livelihood, I could care less about what they have to say.
Yeah. Especially
if it's about my process. And that's what's actually interesting about art. Like, people are so, it's like, if it sounds good, it sounds good. That's all you should be worried about personally. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Really, it really doesn't. There's no real notion to what I say, anyways. If you really care about it, but at the same time, it's like you can't be mad at me one week and then when I post me make it well, it was me owning their energy. I made a beat with no keyboard or mouse. MPC, it's your trash, your ass. This is garbage. What is this? Retweeting it, mind you. You see it, letting more people see that, and that's why you shouldn't allow. I mean, that's what Twitter is, anyways. People don't understand what how their energy is used against them, or actually, for the most part, I can take this energy wherever I want because I got your attention now. Because not everybody's gonna say it's ass. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That's what I'm looking for.
A response is a response. You know what I'm saying? Like, period. When it comes to art, like I'm a firm believer in. It's like if you don't get any response, then that's the problem. But whether they love it or hate it, that's a good thing. That's a great thing.
in this climate now, people just, if it's negative attention, good attention is good attention. Like, what? Any attention is good attention. Like, hey, that's what's celebrated. Like, look at Tekashi 6ix9ine. I think that guy owns so many people's souls. It's not even their energy; it's their soul. And it's like all y'all had to do is ignore him, and that's another. And if he was to say it, and I mean, basically, he already said it. He said, "Fuck hip hop culture," because no snitching is somewhat classified inside of hip hop culture, which I think is stupid, anyways. But from his point of view, he should be what everybody should understand is canceled. Like, he should be, like, nobody should be reporting about him. Nobody should care about his songs. None of that shit. Y'all shouldn't be tuning in. He should be done. But you know what? It's something about the energy that he put out. I mean, the guy that runs his label is tied to one of the biggest people in the music industry. So, I mean, that also has a big role to play in it. But nobody really wants to point that dynamic out about the Granger family. But whatever. But he owns a lot of people's energy, easily.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with T.I., man. I wouldn't have responded to that damn Crime Stopper shit. Why? If anything, I would have been laughing at that. Like, dude, look, man. Hey, it is what it is. The judge told me I had to do this shit. They knew the dynamic of that was going to hurt him later down the line as far as his street cred. But as him being a black man that put out that type of energy that he did with his music, he should be all for it to grow as a father. So I wouldn't have been mad. I wouldn't have yelled at nobody. What the hell 50 Cent? 50 Cent love that shit.
He's always been a king troll. Like this, it's so easy to get to bring people, to take their energy. Very easy, because it's just, I think society now, it's like people feel like you have to respond. You have to
agree on the
I
same
don't
things.
have time for that shit. If it doesn't resonate with my energy, I'm gonna keep that shit moving. Like, I'm not even gonna waste my time with a reply. That's literally wasted time.
Right. Because
you could
really
be
promoting them.
Yeah, you could be. I mean, you could be programming a beat with your mouse pad in those few seconds. So.
with your left foot. What does it matter? Hey, it's a Billboard chart topper. That's the way I look at it. So to all the guys that secretly hate me and stuff like that, or secretly love my channel, because that's what I think it really was. It's just that these guys know who I am just for the amount of work that I put out, and even it was a lesson learned for me, because I was like, man, y'all got all this negativity. Y'all can say all this negative shit, but all these years that I put out all this information, told you about different things, y'all didn't have much to say then. But now y'all are blowing this negative shit up. So is it really positive vibes? That's what it be. But I ain't gonna hold you up, my brother. We're gonna wrap it up here. I really do appreciate you for joining in, man. I hope everybody got to learn something, man. Any last words for everybody? Because I really do want you to get your last words in.
Just keep it creative. Move smart out here, man. Just, get yourself an incredible attorney. Like, don't find out the hard way. If there's paperwork involved, your ass need an attorney. Period. That's just a gem I cannot stress enough.
Oof.
Because I've gotten fucked by, myself in those situations. Even when I had paperwork that was like, it was halfway paperwork. You know what I'm saying? Like, make sure you have somebody, an attorney. Not somebody studying the bar, no, an attorney, like, period. Just make sure.
Vakseen said you bring a notary in when you making something that's a classic.
An attorney is that's like the number one thing you need. You know what I'm saying? Like, before even a manager. Stop looking for somebody to change your life. You know what I'm saying? Change your own life.
Jeez.
Like,
Lord,
put your own music in the right hands. Managers come in to manage something, and most people that are looking for managers don't have anything to manage. So just be patient. Just be patient and love the process. Like, that's the biggest gem I can share. Love the process.
Yeah, don't be like,
if you don't hip hop process, you're doing the wrong damn thing.
Don't say fuck hip hop culture and then still be trying to get checks from it.
That's like straight blasphemy. Like what? Fuck hip hop culture, but then you eagerly want to be a part of hip hop culture.
Want to be a damn a motivational speaker, and 90% of the not even 90%. God damn, 99% of what you said was lies and hatred. God damn, is that the new motivate? I guess Hitler was a motivational speaker too. I guess. God damn.
Come on, hell no.
Wow. Shit. To some people.
Right. And I hate to make light. I'm not trying to make light of that of him, but that's the comparison that I feel like, man, some people, they really enjoy that type of energy. You know what I'm saying? Like, goddamn, what kind of person are you to enjoy that much negative energy? Shit.
I'm trying to put that positive energy out here, and that's what creation is. Like, positive energy, loving energy, and just enhancing the world in some form through our creativity. But definitely not fuck hip hop. We're not on that ever.
My last words is for all the fathers, all the old people out here, old heads, new fathers out here. Protect your seed at all costs, because it matters what you put into his visual, into his cranium, and into what else he puts into their body. What else you put into his body, all will matter to that child, boy or girl. Please do that right thing, even if you with somebody that could be a total bitch, or a total sucker. To all the women out there, because I don't want to just speak to the men, but I worry about the young black men out here and young men in general. Like, don't be out here just doing whatever. Please, goddamn.
Man.
All right, we're gonna roll y'all out with these credits. Peace.